Where does an 800-pound gorilla sleep? I will tell you at the end of the video. My name's Bob, Jokes by Bob Hill. I've been telling jokes for over 40 years. In the coal mine, in the cherry orchard, kind of anywhere I wanted to help people to laugh. And so if you like my channel, please subscribe. And if you want to hear notifications, hit that bell. If you heard some of my jokes in the past and you want to hear it again, put it in the comments and I will tell that first. Also, I will move that to the top of the list. Also, if you have a joke that you would like me to tell, put it in the comments and I will come up with something. I will try to do my best. And if you like it, give me a like. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. As I said, I worked in the coal mine for 38 years, and in the coal mine there was all kinds of people, big turnover, and there was a few Hispanics there. One of them, his English was very bad, but he stuck in the coal mine for a long time. But somebody said his Spanish wasn't any better than his English. But one day he went to the judge and he said, "Judge, I want citizenship." And the judge says, well, he could tell he couldn't speak very good, and he decided, well, you know, when you become a citizen, it's really advantageous to your benefit if you learn to speak really good English. And so I will give you 3 words, and you make a sentence out of this, and we'll practice that as you pursue your citizenship. He said, okay, Judge. And the judge says, here's the 3 words, pink, green, and yellow. And he thought for a second, and then his eyes started getting big. Okay, Judge. And the judge says, okay, let's hear your sentence. And he says, the phone, she go green, green, green. I pink it up and say, yellow. Why don't they allow government workers to look out the window in the morning? Because they'd have nothing to do in the afternoon. This guy moved to Britain. He was an Irishman, and he went to the pub and he ordered 3 Guinness, 3 pints of Guinness, and went back and started sipping each one in turn, and until they were all gone. That was strange. And he went up and he ordered the bartender, hey, bring me 3 more Guinness. And the bartender says, you know, he brought the drinks over, and he said, you know, if you order these one at a time, they go flat really quick, and they probably taste better if you ordered one at a time. He says, oh, I know, but you know, I have a brother in America and one in Australia, and this is the way we drink with each other. And the bartender said, okay, well, almost several times a month he'd come in to drink for like months, 1.5 years or so, and then all of the regulars noticed one day he only had 2 pints there, and so did the bartender, and so he ordered the second round, 2 pints. The bartender says, oh, I'm sorry. You're sorry? Yeah, I know something happened to one of your brothers. You only got 2 pints. Oh, my brothers are fine. I just quit drinking. Ernest Hemingway said, always do what you promise, always do when you're sober what you promised to do when you were drunk. That way you'll learn to keep your mouth shut. This guy went to Las Vegas. He was a regular. About once a year he'd go to Las Vegas, either win or lose. But this one time he lost everything except for his plane ticket and the shirt off his back. And so he had about 3 hours before the flight was supposed to leave, and he says, I better get going. He went down and got in the cab, and he says, cabbie, hey, I don't have any money, but I'm good for it. I will send you double if you'll just take me to the airport. Here is a card with my name and my phone number and everything you need to contact me. And if you'll give me your name and phone number, I will send you double the cab fare. And the cabbie says, get out of here. He had no sympathy whatsoever for him. Of course, the cabbie was probably either greedy or broke anyway. But anyway, he ended up thumbing to the airport or hitchhiking. He got there, and a year later, he's back in Las Vegas. Only this time he wins, and he really feels good. Well, it's time to head home, and he goes out to get in the cab, and this time there's 6 cabs there, and his old buddy's in the back of the line, and he said, man, I'd really like to get back at him. And then he has an idea, and he gets in the first cab, and about a minute later the cabbie hollers, get out of here. And he went to the next cab, and about a minute later the cabbie says, get out of here, all the way down until this guy. And so he gets in this guy's cab, and he hands him the money to go to the airport. And as he goes by the other cab, he gives them a thumbs up, every one of them a thumbs up. And he gets to the airport, he gets to the airport, and the cabbie's really curious why none of the other cabbies would take him to the airport. And he asked, well, why wouldn't the other cabbies take you to the airport? And he told him, well, I asked them for $15 more if they would sleep with me. You know, if you can either spend $5 to have your shirt dry cleaned, or you could donate it to the Salvation Army, and the next morning you can pay them 75 cents for your shirt, all clean and pressed and ready to wear. Save you a little bit of money. There was this guy driving down the road, and this chicken darted out in front of him, and he goes to put on his brake, but the chicken accelerates. And he says, that's strange. So he accelerates to see the chicken, and it starts leaving behind. So they get going faster and faster, going about 60, and he's still not catching the chicken. And the chicken darts into this farm. So he slows down and pulls in, and he looks over, and he says, every one of the chickens there had 3 legs. And he said, man, that is weird. So he gets out and he goes over and talks to the farmer, and he says, hey, your chickens all have 3 legs. To me, that is weird. He said, oh yeah, we breed them that way because we really like drumsticks. And he said, oh, okay. Well, how do they taste? He says, I don't have a clue. I've never caught one. If a man is in the forest talking and there's no women around, is he still wrong? This old school teacher about 100 years ago, he needed a job, and he heard about this job, and he went to this town, got off the stagecoach, and there's people telling him about how terrible the kids are, and how they got rid of the last dozen school teachers. Well, he's an old and wise school teacher, so he buys this old cheap mule that's hard, and he drags it to the edge of the town so the kids couldn't see him. And he gets on the mule and he gets it out where the kids all see him because he's late, because he's doing this. And the mule stops, and he says, that's once, just as loud as he could, so the kids all hear. And he gets the mule going again, and it gets about halfway to the school, and he said, that's twice. And so he gets the mule going, and it stops before the hitching post, and he said, that's 3 times. And he takes out his pistol, and he shoots the mule in the back of the head, and it drops. And the kids just straighten up, going to school, and they're quiet, just as quiet as can be. And a couple hours later, one of them gets really rowdy and mouthy, and the teacher says, that's once. And they all shut up, and he never had a bit of problem with with all the time he was teaching there after that. I promised you that I would tell you, where does an 800-pound gorilla sleep? Anywhere he wants. Have a great day.